My name is Christian King, and this is my Capstone video project. And it's on how COVID pretty much affected me and how the isolation affected me and what I learned going through it. So, really like during my freshman year in college, like it's really when I was like genuinely learning to be independent. So I was like waking up on my own, going to class on my own, eating lunch, breakfast, dinner, all that stuff on my own. Like it was my first time like getting accustomed to living that kind of lifestyle at home. And then like kind of when COVID hit, like I was sent back to the environment that I've grown used to for like a long period of time. So like I was back to like waking up, just like mom waking me up for whatever reason, or my siblings waking me up for whatever reason. And what was really weird about COVID on campus was really like that lockdown, at least I call it the lockdown era at Bethel, where like it seemed like we were like every day we was on the verge of going back into lockdown during like my sophomore year. This is pretty much during like my sophomore year and partial into my junior year. It's like there was different like levels. So there was like blue levels, like everything's cool. We just gotta wear masks inside. And there was yellow, and there's orange, and there's red. And red is not good. But these are all like weird things about COVID on campus. 3 things that kept me grounded during COVID. One of them was video games. Main games that I played during like isolation was Destiny 2, which is this like futuristic first-person shooter made by Bungie. I was already playing this game a lot before isolation, so like it was just another reason to play video games again. So I was just like, that's cool. And then another game I really like to play was Minecraft, because it's one of the best games ever made. Like you can spend hours in there to build whatever you want. It's like a blocky like first person building game, but like using blocks and stuff. And like pretty much like I love that game so much. It's so like you can do whatever you want for however long you want, and there's like no limit as to what you can do. And video games like those were pretty much like perfect ways to like pass the time, keep me distracted, my own things, whether it be like my mental health, which wasn't really doing that so hot during isolation. And it was like a way to play. It was like a way to hang out with my friends without having to like physically hang out with my friends, if that makes any sense. Another thing that really kept me grounded, this is gonna sound really goofy, but memes, because the whole lockdown, like it was like completely new to our generation. So like, and we took that opportunity to make a lot of like really funny like posts on social media and stuff. So like really funny videos about like anything. Like it doesn't even have to just be about like the isolation itself, like other stuff that was also happening like in the world, whatever time would happen. There was like memes about it almost all the time. It really made it was pretty much the same thing I said about video games. It just made me feel better about everything that was going on about isolation. Good time passer, funny to read, funny to watch, keeps me distracted from everything that's going on. And the third thing that I did that helps me keep me grounded was hanging out with my friends. And this wasn't even just like during isolation, but after as well. Because during isolation, I would hang out with one of my high school friends named Mike. And what we would do with mask on, of course, we would like go to the mall, go to like South Lake Mall. We would go to stores and stuff like GameStop, Hot Topic, places like that, and we would just like either look around. Sometimes we'd buy something, sometimes we wouldn't, but like we just hang out like in the moment. And probably the hardest thing about coming back, like I will say about coming back, even after that isolation, was like because of how that lockdown era was at Bethel. I really thought that like so like my sophomore year in college wasn't gonna be as fun, because with everything being locked down and stuff, like we weren't gonna be able to do a whole lot, have a lot of fun, things like that. It was just gonna be like more complicated, more difficult to do less. But looking back on it, me and my roommates, we managed to make the most out of the worst. Like we did a lot of fun stuff. Like we had a really cool video game set up in our room. We played video games together all night, like almost every night we can. We did this thing called Warzone weekends, and where like all four of us would just like play Warzone, which is a shooter, which is pretty much Call of Duty. We played Warzone together like every weekend, and it was just like staying up really late playing Warzone. It was just great. If there's one interesting thing one moral that I've learned during and after lockdown, it's pretty much just like be patient, not just like with your friends and everyone else around, and your family and everyone around you, but like with yourself, because getting mad about like little stuff and being upset with your friends, your family, or whatever you're around, it really isn't gonna help you, because it's a lockdown. Like we ain't going nowhere. So like it just really helps to just like be calm, be patient, like whatever you need to do to like calm yourself down, you know, just go outside and go do it. Like being mad, saying hurtful things to your family, to your friends, like it's not gonna make anything better. It's not gonna fix anything. And some insights that I've really learned that helped me through this is keeping your true friends close. Because when COVID really started to like hit, like it was I really thought that like, oh, like it's no big deal. I have like tons of friends from high school that I can talk to, like tons of friends that I can just, you know, be able to hang out with all the time and be cool with. And I will say that the pandemic really showed me like who my true friends are, because a lot of them just like after we graduated kind of just like cut me off. And I know it's like, I know I have my true friends and I keep them close to me, because one of my friends, he literally moved shortly after I came to high school. He moved somewhere else, like all the way to the Southwest United States, and he still talks to me. In fact, he still talks to me to this day. So he's a real one. Something else I learned is to don't think about things too much. Like I said before, overthinking, being extra over dumb stuff, it doesn't help you. It doesn't help the person you're angry with, and it's just a terrible situation on both sides. So just being patient, so just being cool, calm, cool, collected, and not thinking about stuff too much. It just helps keep the house cool, because even during the pandemic, I would leave butt heads with my siblings all the time, and we were all just like at each other's throats, and it's expected because we're all just like we're around each other for too long, and we're just getting mad at each other over little stuff, and we're just angry. I'm happy to say that things have been so much better since then, but I will say that not thinking about it too much and keeping a level head definitely helped out with that. And most important thing I learned was that actions speak louder than words, because you can just like I said about my friends, like they say, oh, we're your friends, you know, we're cool, like we don't have any problems. But like then COVID comes around, it's isolation, everyone's like locked up and stay in their homes, and you have nothing to do, but you can't like talk to me like, oh, like, hey, how's it going back? How are things going at home? Like, are you okay? How are you thinking about all of this? And things like that. And it really helps open your eyes to like what's really going on. But like really in the end, COVID was just like new to us all. Like not even like the oldest generation have even experienced anything like a lockdown like COVID. So it was just something new for all of us to like experience together. And in the end, you know, we're all in this together, and hey, we made it. So COVID really isn't COVID is still out there obviously, but like it's really not that like serious of an issue. So that's my video. Thank you for your time.